Evening, we'll get this regular Mandan Park District Board meeting, call it to order. Today is Monday, January 8th, 2024 at 5:30. Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Yep, I handed out just a rough update of the agenda, just two items in red. Number one is just need to add a bill for payment to HR Services for $262.50. We had it stapled to a back of another invoice, so it was our fault for not getting in the process for the bills this month. And then, do we want to table the golf cart bids at this point, or wait until we get to that agenda item?
Kind of reading through it, there's still some indecision on that, is that right?
Correct.
And you're going to have more information tomorrow?
Yes, we have a meeting tomorrow afternoon at 3 with Commissioner Scott, obviously Terry and Garrett, myself, and I think Brent will be attending. We're going to just get some more information from the provider as far as some financing options, and then we'll bring that back and have a special meeting.
So we'll have to have a special meeting for that.
Yep.
So Commissioner Scott, there's that kind of your recommendations, we just table that and,
Yes, President Meskey, I would like to table it if possible.
okay, so we'll bring that back up and once we have information, were you thinking in the next week or two, Cole?
Yeah, once we get the information, how much more we need to do any research or whatever on the item, then we will send out or I'll send out an email seeing what kind of works. Probably be a special meeting, either can be morning or noon. I don't see it taking more than an hour at the most.
Okay. All right, so we will table that portion, the golf cart bid portion, under item number 1. Public communication from visitors. We have nobody in our audience this evening, so we will not have that portion. We'll open and close that quickly. Moving on to minutes. Approval of December 11th, 2023, regular minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve December 11th, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
Motion by Commissioner Melhoff,
Second?
second by Commissioner Scott. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, on to item number 1. Consider for approval the following bids. We have tabled Section A of there. We'll move to Section B, golf and park operations equipment bids.
President Meskey and Commissioners, in front of you, as you know, we had to bid equipment out almost a year in advance for the ability to be delivered by 2025. In the past years, we've done a 5-year loan over $300,000 more as a cash flow to be able to fund it. We increased it from $300,000 to $400,000 this year because the cost of materials has definitely increased with COVID and other related issues. Before you are the bids in front of you. Golf requested, as you can see, large area reel mower, riding greens mower, turf utility vehicle, and a roller in the amount of $202,854.66 is where that came in at. Park area requested a large area mower, 10-foot or greater, trade in a 2020 Toro, front rotary mower, 7-foot or greater, a utility vehicle, and along with two tool cats, along with trading in the 2 existing tool cats. When it all nets out, theirs is $198,248.22. Total cost is $401,102.88 is the total cost. I know I mentioned in there that Dustin had talked about from park operation, maybe reducing an attachment to bring it below that. The dollar amount is minimal, to be honest, at that point. If he wants to continue to do that, we can do that. Again, the equipment will not be delivered until 2025. Whether we want to pay cash or we want to take the interest rate and finance it over 4 years, we have time to determine that. We will be doing our 2024 budget, start the process in May and June, have a July retreat. Hopefully we can have a better indication financially what we want to do. Maybe it can be a combination of cash or loan, but very similar to what we talked about with the carts, not knowing what interest rates potentially could be at. We are in a situation where we have the funds available to pay cash. Obviously paying cash for carts and or equipment could be a little bit detrimental. We need to see where we're at with year end, which Terry's working on. Not sure if we will have that by next week, but we're working on it. So before you would be approval to approve the following amounts: MTI distributing the amount of $319,836.23, van wall equipment in the amount of $11,266.65, and Bobcat a man in for $70,000. And if you have questions on specific equipment, Garrett and Dustin can answer any of those questions that you may have.
So we don't know how we're going to pay for it yet, whether it be a loan or cash, and we'll know more year-end what our golf carts come to, what we need.
And that's the difficult part, ordering equipment basically 12 months in advance to get it delivered here. So obviously the need is important to have it. The financial side, we know we can pay cash. It's just a matter of, do we want to do a combination of loan and or cash? based on the golf carts
And
too.
didn't we receive some of this stuff late last time too? Didn't it come in late?
Yeah, it was like 18 months.
Yeah. Any other questions for Cole or Garrett or Dustin? Or Terry, I guess.
Cole, do you want to table this until we know exactly what we're going to do with the golf carts?
I don't think necessarily on this one we do. Based on the golf carts versus this one, we can decide if it's 5-year loan, pay cash to save the interest over 5 years, or on the golf cart loan, as we mentioned, we can either pay cash and or do a combination of cash and or loan to be determined. But this one is to approve the equipment so that we can get it ordered and delivered here.
Yeah.
That's the main
And
issue.
this is within our budget, other than
Correct.
that extra 1,000. The other one was quite a bit higher,
Yeah.
so a little bit of a shock, so,
Yep.
yeah.
Well, I would move to approve the following amounts. MTI Distributing, $319,836.23. Van Wall Equipment, $11,266.65. And Bobcat of Mandan, $70,000.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Scott, second by Commissioner Mutter. Any further discussion? So Terry, year end, when do you think that'll be? I mean, by our special meeting, or do you think this will be a February discussion? As far as how we're going to pay for it?
Ideally, to have all year-end numbers. I don't know if I'll have everything by the next week, if that's when we're reviewing the golf cart information, but I can do my very best to have a good projection at that time.
Okay. And remember, we've been putting money away for the park, for the golf operations, and we want to make sure that we continue with that so we can get that project through too, so, okay. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Commissioner Scott?
Aye.
Commissioner Melhoff?
Aye.
Commissioner Freilich?
Aye.
Commissioner Mutter?
Aye.
Yes for me as well. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 2, consider approval of the 2023 capital outlay transfers to the 2024 budget. Terry?
President Meshke and Commissioners, I am requesting tonight a budget transfer from 2023 to 2024 for projects that you've previously approved, the dollar amounts, and they were all approved for the 2023 budget, but for various reasons, the projects haven't been completed yet, or some of them we are waiting for land and water grant funding, and so therefore the projects weren't all completed this year. So we're just asking just to transfer that budgetary amount remaining for those into 2024. And these projects would be the Youth Ball Diamond Fencing Project, Legion Park Playground and Warming House improvements, the soccer well, FF&E at the new park maintenance shop, and parking lot work at the Star and Sports Complex. So the total of these proposed budget transfers would be $372,511. And you do have a schedule attached with your documentation.
Okay, thank you, Terry. Questions for Terry?
I'll make a motion to approve a budget transfer of $372,511 from 2023 to 2024 in the Capital Improvement Fund.
Motion by Commissioner Melhoff,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Freilich. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. And then item number 3, consider designation of financial institutions as depositories for Park District funds per North Dakota Century Code 21-04-13.
All right, President Meshke and Commissioners, we are required by North Dakota Century Code to designate depositories of public funds every January of each even-numbered year. And so that brings us here tonight, looking at the financial institutions that we're currently using and have been approved by you as a board. They are Starian Bank, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, BNC Bank, First International Bank and Trust, and Bravera Bank. And we're just asking for a motion to designate these same financial institutions as depositories for the district's public funds.
I'll make a motion to designate the depositories for the district's public funds, Starion Bank, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, BNC Bank, First International Bank and Trust, and Prevera Bank.
Motion by Commissioner Mutter,
Second?
second by Commissioner Scott. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Thank you, Terry. Item number 4. We got some news on the boat ramp. You should have received an email last week about our boat ramp and where we're at with that. Cole, you want to give us an update?
So on the TVs before you kind of demonstrates the proposed boat ramp that we had the public hearing back in October. We did meet with the Department of Transportation mid-December to get the covenants and some of that language changed. That will be sent off to Federal Highway for their stamp of approval to review. But as you see in front of you, per the email that I had sent out, a lot of documentation with the Corps of Engineers for us to get our 408 permit. Basically, the 408 permit jurisdiction of the Corps of Engineers is everything in the red. So you kind of basically can see car bodies is what we refer to it in this area here, and then obviously the Missouri River where we have the actual concrete pad. Those are the only areas in red that the Corps of Engineers with the 408 permit that will have jurisdiction on. Everything on top that's owned by the Park District will not be reviewed by the Corps of Engineers. I think that's a positive for us. Obviously limits the scope of everything that the Corps of Engineers will be signing off for approval on. Everything in car bodies, as we know, we're not touching anything inside car bodies, obviously impacting things as the entrance in the shoreline leading into the Missouri River. But what those requirements and things that will be. We do have a Teams call on Friday afternoon with AE2S along with the Corps of Engineers on the 408 permit. I'll learn a lot more then as far as what their requirements and questions that they may have from us. But since we had the public hearing in October, we really haven't had much information on the boat ramp, so I thought it was good to kind of bring it before the board here tonight. In case we have citizens who have questions regarding that, they definitely can reach out to us at the Park District's office if they have more questions. But again, funding is available till May of 2025. Trying to get through the permitting process and construction and trying to get everything done. We can't be sitting in April and May trying to pour a pad and then get this whole thing done in April and May of 25 because of the weathers that we have. So realistically, in a perfect world, we'd like to have a lot of the work, I guess I'll call it rough grading and the concrete pad somewhat done in the fall of 24. Very loosely with the fall, could be October, into early November, depending on the weather, and work our way back. So from the water side out to the west is how we'd like to see the construction happen. So the parking lot obviously would have to be last. We need the pad poured in first, and then pushed is how they install those. So again, a lot of information that we don't know at this time related to the boat ramp. Just wanted to update the board and the citizens that maybe requested it, and then we'll bring it back once we know exactly how that Teams meeting goes on Friday afternoon, and then the next steps regarding when we would get approval on permitting. So any questions for me?
Cole, yeah, Cole, I know we had a lot of people here at the public hearing. They brought up a lot of concerns. I think a lot of them we were able to maybe address and fix. How is the engineering firm? Are they able to address some of those concerns? And
Obviously, some
and
of
the city, I know city has some things to do with that too. Has there
Right.
been discussions?
I think as far as disturbing any of the area, minimizing any damage to the, the trees and some of the areas, that'll be minimized as best as possible. And we will have to replant some of the trees. As far as any of the concerns they had with boat traffic, the streets, how they're designed and laid out, are going to be very difficult to change. And obviously, that's a city of Mandan's jurisdiction. The minutes have been shared with Department of Transportation that will be forwarded on to the Federal Highway Administration. Nothing really stood out in there. There was one letter that was sent after the fact regarding basically the birding and the nesting of animals and things that take place in that area. We obviously are not going to distract anything that's there today. The activities will remain the same. The impact that we're having obviously will drive additional traffic, basically Memorial Day to Labor Day on the weekends. That will be only change that I foresee happening during the week, Monday through Friday. When you drive across the river to Bismarck, I look down at their boat ramp, there might be one or two trucks and trailers.
Well, and the Corps studies that too. When they grant a permit, they look at those. I mean, they look at that side of things
Correct.
too, right?
Yep. So, as basically on the public hearing, there was nothing really there that I thought stood out that we can really address, especially when it comes to city streets and accesses and things where they turn and what point they're going to come in on Main by Culvers, or they're going to go up by Mandan Avenue, up and into that way to be determined. But
Okay. Anything else for Cole on the boat ramp?
No.
No? Okay, thank you, Cole. moving on to item number 5, strategic plan, 2024, 2026 strategic plan. Where we were at, where we're going.
Perfect. So the 2024 to 2026 is always a revolving strategic plan. Every year we update it in the fall, October, November. Staff and surveys are reviewed and looked at along with what wasn't completed in prior years. We try to make prior year stuff that we didn't complete as a priority for the next year, as in 2024, and then things that we want to add on kind of go on to the backside of 2026, but we do prioritize certain items. I'm not going to go through the whole item today. Staff has reviewed it multiple times. Kelly and marketing did a nice job kind of updating it and getting a cleaned up version. It's been sent out to park commissioners for your guys' review. Really, it's just a statement to basically say we approve the strategic plan as presented here tonight. And I'll stand for any questions you may have with it, if any.
Is this on our website, Cole?
It will be on our website after tonight.
After tonight, okay. Hopefully you had a chance to look at that. If you have questions, obviously, hopefully you asked them to Cole already or said those concerns. I think that's one thing that you guys do great up at the offices is you're not only looking right in front of you, but you're looking down the road. You involve us, and I think that's why we're not playing catch up a lot, and I think that has a lot to do with you guys, the staff, the managers. We do appreciate that because we don't get a lot of surprises when it comes to that, because we do have a plan in place. Last year, I think we got a grant. It's like, what do we use this for? Well, we have projects in place that we can do that we've already decided upon and agreed upon. So it makes planning a lot easier when good things like that happen. So we do appreciate the work and the time put into short-term and long-term planning, Cole and all your staff. So thank you. Anything else for Cole on strategic plan?
I just hope the community takes advantage of looking at the strategic plan on the website, because there's a lot of good information on there from previous projects up to upcoming projects.
Okay, anything else? All right. You guys kind of made it easy on us tonight. Good thing we didn't talk about golf carts. So golf carts will be a tough decision for us. Financially, we have to make some decisions. So as soon as we get that information, Cole, so we can look at it and think about it, that would be great. All right, Commissioner and staff reports. Anything else, Cole?
Nothing to add?
Oh, did I skip one? I'm sorry.
Do we need a motion for the
Oh.
strategic plan?
Yeah, we better.
Yes, please.
I would move
we need-
to approve the 2024 through 2026 strategic plan as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Scott,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Freilich. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. All right, now we'll go Commissioner and staff reports. Cole?
Whoops. Just a reminder, our joint powers meetings on Thursday at noon. I believe Commissioner Freilich, Commissioner Mutter have that committee portfolio. We've already met with the school district back in December on some preliminary things. We just kind of want to bring it before the school. It's good to get together every year. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay. Hey, Terry? Garrett?
The furnace units, air conditioning units, and water heaters were replaced at the end of December, as was scheduled at the Prairie West Clubhouse. So those upgrades went well, and we're back up in good condition on that. And then we're close to finalizing the 2024 event schedule for the golf course as well. So that's coming together pretty nicely. So other than that, routine maintenance work this time of year inside now that it's going to be cold.
Are you glad to see the snow or not?
Very glad to see snow. Yeah, snow as opposed to ice is much better. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. Dustin, I think that's you back there. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finally got the ice rinks, so outdoor ice rinks opened. Probably going to be a short season, but they're open for people to use.
Good. Attorney Ruff? I have nothing. Commissioner Mutter?
I just want to thank Dustin's crew to even just get ice rinks for our citizens in our community. Thank you, because this is the first time we've had cold weather, which I'm not going to complain about.
Commissioner Freilich?
I've got nothing.
Commissioner Melhoff?
No report for me.
Commissioner Scott?
No report.
All right, sounds good. All right, we'll move on to item 7. Authorization, payment of monthly bills with the addition of our agenda item of HR services for $262.50 added to the original bills. Can we get a motion?
I'll get a motion to authorize payment of monthly bills with the addition of HR services for $262.50.
Motion by Commissioner Freilich,
Second.
second by Commissioner Scott. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Future meeting dates for Mandan Park Board Commissioners, like Cole said, on January 11th, 2024. Joint Powers Agreement with Mandan Public Schools will be at the Park Administrative Office at noon. February 1st, Admin Portfolio at noon at the Park Administrative Office. February 7th, 2024, Candidate Workshop at 5:30 PM, City Hall. That is for people that are interested, that are in becoming an elected official, and I think Commissioner Mutter is going to be there and do some discussion on that. Anything to add to that, Commissioner Mutter?
Come see me.
Come see Commissioner Mutter. And then our next regularly scheduled Park Board meeting will be right here on February 12th at 5:30, and then somewhere in there, we'll have a special meeting to look at our golf cart rates and decide on how we're going to proceed with those. So, okay, with that, can we get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Melhoff,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Scott. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Meeting adjourned.